cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. Now, from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation and reported in the flagship Global Burden of Disease that for 2017, this study estimates 792 million people lived with a mental health disorder. This is slightly more than 1 in 10 people globally. So we can see how alarming it is becoming and how necessity it is for preserving mental health and being aware of the problems and take the preventive measures in the beginning phase. Now, in the US and much of the developed world, mental health disorders are one of the leading causes of disability. So this includes so many anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar disorder, personality disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, eating disorders, psychotic disorders, and of course nowadays gaming disorder and internet usage disorder has also been affected. So it is becoming one of the leading cause of disability. Now, the risk factors of mental health include childhood risk factors, that is having a difficult temperament, having low self-esteem, then having a negative thinking style. It includes family background, witnessing parental breakup, being subjected to abuse, parents with mental illness, then being rejected by peers, then failure at school and workplace, poor connection at school or workplace. Then it includes life events, death of a family member, then experiencing or witnessing an emotional trauma, facing a natural disaster. Then it includes social circle like discrimination or isolation, having a socio-economic disadvantage, unable to access the support system. So all these are the risk factors that are the factors that are affecting mental health. So one should be aware of the risk factors for mental health so that they can promote good mental health and avoid mental health problems. Now we come to or belonging to a marginalized or persecuted ethnic groups can increase the risk of mental health. So we see that this has been increased during this case also. Problems are rising. There is a direct correlation between mental problems and mental illness. So one with parents or grandparents having illness should be more taking help, more vulnerability for them to become mentally ill. So NIMH suggests making you anxious, think of something calm and serene and slow down your mind. When feeling angry and irritated, calming your mind, counting back from 0 to 1, distracting yourself helps. Even when feeling afraid, deal with it by asking yourself, what is under my control? And of course, when I have been stressed in the past, how I have managed it. So always think that you are not alone. Pause and remember that there is always some hope. What are the things I can do to help myself? And be positive. Feeling lonely or sad is quite common. Stay connected with others. Communication can help you to connect with family and friends. Call up people whom you haven't spoken to and surprise them, discuss happy moments, common interests, exchange cooking tips, share music. If any of these emotions persists continuously for several days, despite you are trying to get out, talk about it with someone. If you are feeling worsened at times, may feel helpless, call the mental health professionals or connect to your doctor, mental health professionals for advice. So find strong and positive reason for living is useful in preventing suicide. So you must find the reasons for living. You should try to inculcate new meaning in life, new interests, and new responsibilities. So,
I have also noticed.
and moral objection is found to be strongly and negatively related to suicide thought. So this is very important. You should have a concern for future, and morality should be inculcated.
Right, ma'am. I have a question here.
Yeah.
I have
The society, but how much negativity they have taken, and they had to go through this negative phases is many times ignored. So this is one of the most important way of building the mental strength. So next,
due to the time constraint, ma'am, I would really request you to sum up the rest of the slides here.
So enjoy the nature and natural beauty. Spend time with nature. Gardening. This is one of the most important way of doing everything. So thank you. I would say be positive and of course take responsibilities and try to be positive. Don't always look at the negative sides. Try to look at the positive sides.
Right.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to this Psychologs one for giving this.
Yes. Ma'am, my co-host also had a question for you.
Yeah.
She cannot unmute herself for technical reasons, but I'll be asking the question for her. Yeah. She asks, as there is a different ratio of committing suicide for different genders, so is there a difference in their coping mechanisms too?
There is a difference in the coping mechanism, and also in one of the studies, it is showing that female are more prone to suicide because there has been a lot of exploitation, not only physical but mental, emotional exploitation is sometimes more on females than on the male. So this makes them more vulnerable to suicide. As one of the major causes for suicide in India has been due to marital causes, marital problems, dowry system, and all this. So the whole thing can be reduced by making people more empowered. So more the empowered the individual will be, more independent they will be, more resilient they will be, and they'll be able to overcome their suicidal thoughts.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that answer. It was a very, very interesting discussion with you. I would like to thank you to take the time out for such an enriching talk and present to us your research and knowledge in this often overlooked area. I also extend my gratitude to Dr. Arvind Ota, who has given us this opportunity to interact with experts like you. A special thanks to Psychologs Magazine for their extraordinary efforts, without which none of this would have been possible. Lastly, I thank the audience for joining us today. Wish you all a very good day. Thank you.
So